You turn to your textbook, look at exercise 3A. You tell me which question you see this word. And this is going to be one of your questions in your SAT 2 as well. If you look at, if some of you who are curious about what is your SAT 2 all about, then you have a look at the SAT 2 sample paper, then you will realize that every paper there will be a question on that.
Question 8.
Yeah, question 8. So this appear in the part B. You see this is in a part B. You go to your textbook, page 63. And this is the question 8B. I never mentioned this before, am I right?
Yeah.
So if you look question 8A, then 8B, then 8C. So what do you think you are able to solve this question without me telling you how to solve it?
No.
Why not?
I have no idea what conjecture means.
What do you mean you have no idea? You tell me, what is part A?
Well, finding the y-intercepts, right?
Yeah. So what is part A all about? Why they want you to repeatedly do part x equal to 1, x equal to 2, x equal to 3?
The change in the rate of change from
Can
plus
you
1
please?
to 3.
Okay, let's not talk about part B first. Okay, part A asks you to do that. So do you know how to do part A?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you know how to do part A, can you please do part A first now? Everyone in the class, can you do part A first? You are given a function. You are going to find so the objective of this one is to find the y-intercept of the tangent at certain value of x. A certain point, I so-called, on y equal to fx, right? So now, first of all, you must know what is the tangent. So you have to get the equation of tangent, then only you can get the y-intercept, am I right? So how to get the equation of tangent?
That's right.
Yeah, so please do. First of all, you have to get the gradient. You have to get the point. Then you use y equal to mx plus c. So you get the c, you get the answer. Because you want the y-intercept. Y-intercept is the c. So that is the advantage of using y equal to mx plus c. So that's why in this case, I would prefer to use y equal to mx plus c instead of using y minus y1 equal to mx minus x1. So you first of all, you get the gradient function first. Then for each part, you just do accordingly. So I got the answer. Then you continue with part 2, x equal to 2. So you look for F2, 2 ln 2, F prime 2, which is the gradient, ln 2 plus 1. So put into the equation y equal to m, put in the bracket, x plus c. Something wrong with my m. Y equal to m, x plus c. So it will be 2 ln 2, take away 2 ln 2, take away 2. So c equal to -2. So now, part 3, x equal to 3. So F3 equal to 3 ln 3. F prime 3 equal to 3 ln, equal to ln 3 plus 1. So y equal to m x plus c. So in this case, c will be -3. So c is the y-intercept. So in this case, if I use y equal to mx plus c, it will be a better one. Okay, now. Hello? So I do the first part. So why they ask you to do part A? The reason is part B. So in part A, part 1, part 2, part 3, what do we call it? We call it specific cases. Am I right? So what do you mean by make a conjecture? Can you please go to the dictionary and check the meaning of conjecture? Can you please? Read
An
the
opinion or conclusion formed on the basis of incomplete information.
I think that is not the definition that we want.
Is it like a contradiction?
Contradiction. Is it a contradiction? Conjecture. Listen, a hypothesis that has been formed by based on a certain evidence. A hypothesis that you make based on certain evidence. That is called conjecture. Reasoning that involve a formation of conclusion from some evidence. These are our evidence. So you are going to make a conclusion. That means make a general statement. So now I put my x equal to a. So what will the y-intercept of the tangent be?
Negative A.
Will be?
Negative A.
How you know it's negative a? You look for the pattern. 1, negative 1, 2, negative 2, 3, negative 3. So this is called conjecture. You look for a general conclusion. You look for a conclusion based on some specific evidence. Are you clear?
Yes.
So in every question like that, we will ask you to do something. Ask you to find something. Okay, we will give you a few cases. You repeatedly do it, then you look for the pattern. So that is called conjecture. And you will get 1 mark there. So now, okay, so for part C, in science, we only can prove a hypothesis based on an experiment. But in maths, we can prove that our conjecture is, our conclusion is right or wrong by working out the mathematical formula. That is called prove your conjecture. When I prove the conjecture, that means I have to do this all over again. But I substitute my x with a. You get what I mean by the meaning of conjecture, proving conjecture? You have to do this all over again, but now you replace your x with a. You get me? Hello? So now you please do that. Do all this all over again. Start from the differentiation right up to here, this step. But your x is you put as a. So I will start with my fx equal to x ln x. Then I will write down f prime x equal to ln x times 1 plus x 1 over x. Okay, then I will say when x equal to a, then continue all the process. So for mathematical conjecture, you can prove the conjecture. For scientific experiment, you can't. Okay, you just have to carry out until you find one specific cases that doesn't support the hypothesis. So you can say that the hypothesis is wrong. So you write down FA equal to A ln A. F prime A equal to ln A plus 1. You put into Y equal to M X plus C. So from here, C equal to negative A, done. Proven. Are you okay?
Yep, all good.
So there will be one question in your SAT2. So everyone must learn how to do this. You get me? This question will carry about 7 or 8 marks out of your 42 marks. When you talk about making conjecture, I can have many things, okay? But we put it in our SAT2. I can put it in SAT3 also, but we strictly put in SAT2 because it's easier for you. Simple things means making a conjecture means based on some specific evidences, you make a conclusion. Then after that, you prove the conclusion. If in any situation whereby you are not able to come up with the conclusion, the conjecture, that is part B, you just leave it aside. You do your proving first. Then only you write the answer down in part B. Do you get me?
Yes.
Everyone in the class, you have any issue on that? Okay, I just want to ask you this question. Have you ever heard of in your high school maths, making a conclusion by induction and deduction method?
No.
What?
No.
What?
No, miss.
Nope.
No, no wonder. You all don't have this.
Nope. This is the first time I've seen a question like this.
I'm not saying this question. I'm saying making a conclusion by induction and deduction method.
Yeah, that too.
Do you know what is induction and deduction method?
No.
No.
No, Can you go and Google induction and deduction method? What do you mean by that? The difference between induction and inductive and deductive reasoning. You sure you never heard of?
Yeah.
I think you all should go and read up about this. This is the base. Yeah. Inductive and deductive reasoning. I mean, induction and deduction method. You go and Google what is induction and deduction method. I'm having on my handphone now. I'm in it.
The induction is a technique used to prove a statement or formula, right?
Sure.
It proves that the formula is true for every natural number, right?
You see, did you all Google now?
That's what Google told me.
I've sent you the definition of induction and deduction method. So what is the difference by reading that? You tell me. So based on what I posed to you, can you please tell me, when we make a conjecture, we are using an induction or deduction method?
Deduction.
Okay. Yeah. Deduction method is from a general statement, you make specific conclusion. So I give you an example, say, for me, something general about myself. I say, I drink coffee every day. So I make a conclusion. Today I drink coffee. So that is called deduction. You have a general statement. You make a specific conclusion. So for this one, is induction or deduction? Hello, answer me, please. Don't just because something new and you don't. Yeah, someone have tell me it's like sequence. You see, sometimes they give you case 1, case 2, case 3, then you make a general conclusion, correct? About case N. Yeah, that is called induction. From many specific cases, you make a general conclusion. That is called induction. Deduction is the other way around. Like, for example, you carry out your science experiment. Okay, you carry out that experiment support the hypothesis. So you carry out another experiment, same thing, but okay, then you also support the hypothesis, many cases. So all the scientific theory are based on inductive reasoning. All scientific theory are based on inductive reasoning. So until one day, someone can find a case which is not true for that situation, then the whole theory is changed. Some of you study physics, correct?
Yeah.
Newton said light is in the form of particles. Okay, until someone find that the light can carry out interference, can have diffraction. So it is not a particle. A particle cannot diffract.
Wait,
okay,
so
sorry for those who didn't do science. I'm just telling you. Those who study physics in high school, correct? So light is not a particle. Light is in the form of wave. So someone disproved Newton theory. Yeah, so scientific theory is not 100% true because you use inductive reasoning. So anything that we get it from conclusion for inductive reasoning is not 100% true. Yeah. If I can find a case to disprove it, that's it, the whole thing gone. You get me? Okay. So come back to here. Important, I'm telling you. Okay. So today I'm going to talk about some of the question in rate of change, exercise 3F. Exercise 3F, I want you to do question 6. Do you know which page of your textbook? Page 86. Okay. Can you please?
Okay.
Any part that you start, you can straight away ask me, I will explain. So radioactive substance decay, you don't have to understand it. As long as you know the formula, you just write it down. We are not learning physics. So for part A, weight is 10 grams after 50 hours. So that means you substitute W as 10, then T as 50. Okay, into the equation, then you solve. So 10 equal to 20 e to the power negative k times 50. So it's 10 over 20 equal to, I told you, if whenever I see the e, the power is negative, I will make it positive. Okay, so I simplify. So my e to the power of 50k is equal to 2. So my 50k equal to ln 2. So k equal to 1 over 50 ln 2. Okay, so if you want to make it afterward, when you key into the calculator easier, then you can put an approximate value here.
It's 0.014.
0.0143 SF, please.
I find 0.0139.
Okay. So now you got the equation already. So now you can write the equation as W equal to 20 e to the power of negative 0.0139 t. You can key this into your calculator. Can put this into your GC Y1. Then only you start to do part 1 and part 2, part 3. Okay, so you must learn how to relax during the, so initial, that means W0. Okay, use your GC and get the answer. So I'm not going to ask for the answer because you can get the answer from your textbook at the back, right? So the other one, W24. Yeah, next one, W. Okay, after 1 week. 1 week got how many hours? So this one you have to be very careful.
168.
1 week, 7 days. So 7 times 24. Okay, I put here 7 times 24. Yeah, I can do so. So you get your Y1 and you get the answer. Yep. Have you got all the answer?
Yes.
Okay. Brandon, W0 is what?
20.
Thank you. Ethan, W24.
14.33.
14.33. Yu Xuan. After 1 week,
1.95 gram.
1.95, all in gram. Thank you. Just to make sure everyone is doing your work, okay? So part C. Part C, how long will it take for the weight to reach 1 gram? Okay, now, for this one, you can solve it in 2 ways. You can use graphical method or you can use solver, or you can solve it manually. So your choice. 1 gram. So 1 equal to 20 e to the power negative 0.01390. So you can put this into your solver. Okay, if you don't want, you can use graphical method. You have this in Y1, correct? Then you put this in Y2. Then you have a graph that go in this way. And another graph, the Y2 here. This is your Y1, this is your Y2. You find the intersection point. Then you get the answer. So everyone, you also can solve it manually, your choice. So I will leave it to you. So there are 3 ways of doing it. Or you can solve it manually. I mean, 1 over 20 is equal to 1 over e to the power of 0.01390. So my e to the power 0.01390 will be equal to 20. So my e will be equal to, and my t will be equal to ln 20 over 0.0139. So those who are good in algebra, I will prefer to do this. But if you are not, you can go for graph or solver. You should get the same answer. Okay, what is the answer? Okay. You can try all the 3 methods. You should try all the 3 methods. Yibin, you got the answer?
I'm doing right now, miss.
Okay, you are doing, okay. You use which method? 1, 2, or 3?
I'm using 3.
3, okay.
Miss.
Yeah, I got 215.5.
215. 200 and
Yes, me too.
215.5.
215.5.
Yeah.
Do you try all the three methods?
Yeah. The solver I did, and then I also did 3. I didn't do 2 only.
Yeah, now you try to do 2.
Okay.
Okay, everyone got the answer? Everyone have tried all the 3 methods?
Yes, miss.
Yeah, you have tried all the 3 methods. Good. So now, do you know why we need to do this simple thing? Miss Lo, why must I learn all the 3 methods? Have you ever think of why we all teacher have to teach you many methods? Have you ever think of in what situation I must use method 1? In what situation I think I should use method 2 and method 3?
Sometimes it's too hard to solve it algebraically, so you gotta rely on a calculator or like a graph.
Yeah. Sometimes if one look at it, it's very complicated. I need to have many algebraical step in order to get the answer correct. Since I have the solver, why don't I use solver? So between solver and graph, in what situation I will use solver, in what situation I will use graph? If the equation that I need to solve is very complicated, so which situation I will use solver, which situation I will use graph? Have you ever think of that? Or I always use solver. I fix my mind, I always use solver. I don't want to think of graphical method. You think in what situation you use graphical method? Definitely by the look at this question, solver will be much easier, correct? Just key in and get the answer. But there are certain situations, graph will be much easier. In what situation I will say graph is easier?
When is that specific function you taught us about, where it's like 1/v type of thing?
No, the one is I memorize the formula. When I say graphical method to solve an equation like that, I find the intersection point. I'm talking about this. What situation I will straight away use graphical method? I won't get into solver. Who can think of a situation whereby you use graphical method? I don't know in O level whether your maths you have such a question, but I know that in SPM, definitely in their maths question, paper 2, definitely there's a one question whereby you solve an equation by using graphical method. That is question 7 of their paper 2. Okay, I can memorize that because I've been teaching SPM for a long time before I teach SAFE. Hello? SAFE also we got such a question, I'm telling you. Like for example, this question. Okay, at the beginning, I asked you to sketch the graph of W. Then after that, I asked you to do part C. So which method will you use? Will you use 1, 2, or 3?
So,
1, 2, or 3? Definitely 2, because you have the graph there already. So choice of a method depends on the question given. That's why you see the reason why you learn maths, why everyone need to learn maths. It's not the maths theory that is important. It's the way, the approach you take to solve a problem. Depend on what is given, then you make a decision which method to use. That's why we give you different methods. If I have this information, so this will be the best method. If I have this information, then that will be the best method. You see or not? So that's why maths is what? Just now when we talk about conjecture, is a reasoning. How you reason it out. So you try your best to think. Don't just wait for the teacher to tell you what to do. Why Miss Do want to teach all the 3 different methods? If Miss Do want to make Miss Do life easy, Miss Do just need to teach you 1 method. That's it. Teaching people to choose the right thing to do at the right time. Do you know that is the hardest? Yeah. Okay. So, so you remember we have 3 different methods of solving an equation. So depend on the situation, you choose. Okay, shall we go to part D? Okay, so part D shouldn't be a problem, correct? You want to find the rate. So you can even use your GC if you want to find the rate, because they didn't say show algebraically, am I right? So 0.0139, 0.0139 T. So my W prime T will be 20 times negative 0.0139, then e to the power negative 0.0139 T. Okay, so if they say algebraically, you just differentiate this. After that, you use your GC to get the answer. Am I right? You get W prime 100. So please take out your calculator and get the answer. I will call someone to give me the answer. You have your W in your Y1, and your Y2 should be D over dx. Y1, x equal to x. You should be able to give me the answer very quickly. Okay, I give you 1 minute. So over here is not how good are you in your calculation. It's how good are you in using the formula, the theory that you learn, and your calculator. Okay, 1 minute is almost over. Okay, Adrian Lim, answer for W prime 100.
Negative 0.0692.
Negative 0.0692.
Yeah.
Okay, it will be gram per hour. Huh? Okay. Yeah. Okay. If it's wrong, please let me know. Huh? Okay, Adriana, W prime 1000. Adriana. Adriana, are you there? Okay, Ashley. Ashley Tam.
Negative 2.55 times 10 to the power negative 7.
Okay. Wow, that is very small. Negative 2.55 times 10 to the power negative 7 gram per hour. Okay. Good. So in your calculator, you will put as E, then negative 7, correct? It means this, huh? Okay. Can we go to part E? Okay, show that. Look, show that. They want you to show that dW over dt is BW. So this one, if you want to show that, then we will just let it be K, okay? Okay, so you differentiate this. So what you need to do is you differentiate, then you see what to do. So when we differentiate this, we copy down the whole thing. Time by the derivative of the power, am I right? Okay, so you look, what is this? So this is W, am I right? So proven. That means B is equal to negative K. So proven. Are you okay?
Yes, Miss. Yes, Miss.
Yep, looks good.
Yeah. So you can try all the other question. Yeah. Okay. By the way, we have done question 12, am I right? Have we? We have done
Yes,
question
yes, we
12.
done.
Yes, we have done question 12. We have done 12. I just asked you. Okay. Do you think are they the same? Is this equal to this? Is this equal to that? Are they equal? If I say this is equal to this, agree or disagree? Hello? Huh? Queen? Can I say the first one is the same as the second one if I write like that? Am I doing the writing it correctly? Okay, not sure. What do you observe the difference between the first one and the second one? You tell me what is the difference.
There's no E on top,
Okay, other than that,
and then the E at the bottom has been replaced by a 1, I think.
Yeah, that's what I see as well.
okay, that's what you see.
You multiplied both numerator and denominator by e to the power of negative 1.73t, right?
Why?
Why
I
don't
you
know.
think of that? Why you can think of that?
Because if you multiply by that, then you will cancel out the e for the 3000, and the e at the bottom become 1, and then the 0.5 would have the e to the power of negative 1.73t.
So what gives you the idea of doing that? I know what you see. I also see. But what gives you the idea of doing that? What observation you have between the two that give you that idea? That is what they want to know. Because they observe different things than us. That's why sometimes someone cannot see how to change it because they observe, their focus is on different things. They find the differences between the two that doesn't bring them to the answer. What I observe certain things. Okay, we change that so that it's easier to differentiate, correct? But why, how I change it? How I change it, that is important. We change from this form to this form so that it's easier to differentiate. You don't have to use quotient rule. You straight away use chain rule, correct? I no doubt of that. But how do you change this to here? That is how. What I see is the power for E. On top, the first one, the power for E are all positive. But the bottom, the power of E all are negative. See or not?
Yeah.
So that means, so that means in order for me to change from part 1 to part 2, so what I do is I have this in mind. E to the power A times E to the power negative A is E to the power A minus A, correct? Plus negative A. So what do I get? E to the power 0, which is 1. So I just put same go with the bottom. So all these become 1. All these become 1. Correct? Okay. Those who need to go for your chemistry SAT, you may leave now. So I'm just telling you. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
You have to let me know because I don't know what class you have after this. Okay. Thank you, class.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you.